there are two things to look at. There are a lot of things being said on the Twitter right now, and I agree with them that this is more of a performative nationalism. Because if you feel that you don't want to have any relationship with Pakistan, that you should not be playing cricket with them. So that's when your countries are not on good relationship or good terms with each other, that makes sense. But then when you start to sort of use cricket as an extension of what your government wants to do politically, that is where you sort of start bringing the sport into disrepute. And I feel that it's a responsibility for every sports person to sort of guard what is there. And I think for cricketers, cricket is of utmost sanctity. So they have to protect the sport from becoming too politicized, and they have to sort of there needs to be sort of a limit where they can say, okay, now this is enough. Let us play cricket, and we don't want to be a pawn in your diplomatic gestures or in your political gestures. So I think it was performative nationalism, to say the least. And it's never the case over the last few decades that India and Pakistan are, on good relationship with each other. But cricket has been sort of a, binding factor between the people of two countries. I mean, I was the men's media manager during the 2023 World Cup in India, and I was with the Pakistan team, and I firsthand saw how much love our team got over there. But I think this Asia Cup, it has sort of, created a wedge between the two teams, which was not existent before. We have always seen India and Pakistan players mingling with each other during the training sessions or on the field, sharing some good moments, giving wholesome images to the fans around the world. That has not happened. In fact, now there is a lot of bitterness between the two teams. So I think it's going to impact really adversely, the relationships between the two teams. It's very simple. Look, there are some protocols in cricket. Whenever there's an Asia Cup final and the winning team is to be handed the trophy by the ACC president, same goes that whenever there's a final of an ICC event, it's the ICC chairman who hands the trophy. So, I mean, if you refuse, as Salman Ali Agha rightfully said after the match last night, that, if you refuse to receive the trophy from the chair of the ACC, then how will you receive the trophy? I think this was all unnecessary, again, India has used this tournament for their, to push their sort of political, narrative and turn this sport into an extension of what has been happening off the field and what the two governments have been involved in for the last 5-6 months. The question is, where is this going to stop? There were no handshakes. The teams, the players did not look at each other. There was a lot of political sloganeering using the cricketing platforms from both the sides. And now, if you are, and then of course before the final, there were the Indian captain at the toss spoke to an Indian commentator, and the Pakistani captain spoke to a Pakistani commentator. And then in the end, you are refusing to acknowledge the ACC chairperson, and you're not, and you're not interested in taking the trophy from him just because he's a Pakistani. So where does that stop? I think this is something that people on the both sides, the decision makers on the both sides, they need to sit and they need to ponder over. I don't think there are going to be any consequences for the Indian cricket team because there are some ground realities and we should be aware of them. I mean, Indian cricket team is one of the most watched and one of the most, I think it's the most watched and most followed cricket team in the world right now, rather than one of those. So I don't think there are gonna be any consequences. The teams around the world, they want to play India. They are the Champions Trophy winners. They have a 50-over title. They have a T20 title. They were the world champions, and now they have become the Asian champions as well. Then secondly, hosting India, it brings a lot of money for cricket boards around the world because of the viewership that the Indian team carries. So it's not going to impact it's not going to have any impact on the Indian team, and it's not going to have an effect on BCCI's relationships with the cricket boards around the world. The ICC in itself, it has an Indian stranglehold over it right now because the chair is the is Jay Shah. He is the former BCCI head, and he's son of India's Home Minister Amit Shah. The chief executive of the ICC is also an Indian. So all the top leadership positions right now are with the Indians at the ICC. But there is going to be a very negative impact on the ACC because the ACC back in 1983, it was formed to sort of push the Asian voice in cricket, because in those days cricket was dominated by England and Australia. It was these two countries who had their say. So ACC was a platform where all the Asian teams came together as one to push for their case. And it for the longest time, the platform of ACC represented the unification of the Asian cricket teams. Unfortunately, this Asia Cup has established otherwise. So I think the fabric of the ACC, it has been shredded. And I don't think, if this continues, the ACC will continue to exist. I think if, India and Pakistan politics continues to play a role in cricket, and if it continues to creep onto the cricketing field, probably we'll see very soon that the ACC will get dissolved. So, as I said earlier, that, there are some things in life that you guard. And I think, cricket needs to be guarded from what the governments are doing and what's happening off the field. It should not, it should not become pawn or a proxy. The cricket board should stop becoming proxies of their governments, and they should not, act in the ways that they have of late in the last 2-3 weeks we have seen. So I think, cricket boards around the world, and of course, with the South Asia is in focus right now, especially over here, India and Pakistan. Perhaps cricket boards, they should, act independently of the government, and it's just about, making sure that cricket does not get affected. Look, but then again, it's easier said than done, because whenever it comes to the national interests or, the security policy of any country, sport then takes a back seat, and sometimes sports is used as a tool to project that. I mean, because why does China, push for their Olympics, for their sports teams in Olympics to be so competitive? Because it is sort of your sport help you have that soft influence in the world. So again, no matter how much we say that, cricket should be devoid of politics, and the two sports and politics should not be mixed, at the end of the day, the reality is something different. And if people are not going to, stand up for themselves, if the cricketers are not going to stand up for themselves, and they are not going to tell their boards that, they are not going to behave in a certain way if they are asked to, and they are just only here to play cricket, then I think it will keep on happening. And probably, the leadership of the cricket boards around the world, they need to be, very strong as well, that they should also have a muscle to take a stand whenever they are being told that, these are some political agendas that need to be that need to be furthered on the cricket field, or, it needs to be done. They can say that, no, you probably will not use cricket as a platform for that. But then again, look, and at the end of the day, until and unless the relationship between the India and Pakistani government is normalized, until and unless the tensions, they are lowered, the temperatures are lowered, we are continue to see these sort of incidents. Because when it's India and Pakistan, it has never been the skill set of these two teams that has defined this rivalry. It has always been that political needle and the political tension. It's unfortunate that it went too far this time, But we can hope that, whenever these two teams will meet again, cricket will take the center stage and not the politics.